Hello everyone, my name is Adam Okechi from Drum School Finders. I drum study abroad on Instagram, I drum study abroad on TikTok, and drum study abroad on YouTube. Please follow us on all our platforms, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please click on the bell icon when you get to YouTube so that you can get notified whenever we do upload any videos. Thank you. Today's topic is actually about managing money as an international student. So this is just general advice, things to stay away from, things not to do, and maybe a few things that you should do to help you to keep some of your pounds or dollars or whatever currency you have as an international student, so you don't just go and blow your money. It happens, especially to the younger ones who maybe have never been financially independent until the day their parents counted money, put them on a plane and send them abroad, then they forget themselves. So get your pen and paper as usual, open your ears, open your mind, and join me in the video. See you soon. Very first thing on our list is fake life. If you come abroad with that fake life mentality, it will so disgrace you. So when you arrive as a student, you need to try and cut your coat according to your size. You need to budget, you need to plan. You don't just come and blow money, because there's nobody that's going to save you here, unless if you have loaded parents that are going to be bailing you out all the time. But at the moment, pounds is hard. Even those parents, please pity them. Don't come and start trying to prove that you're something you're not. Don't come and start trying to prove that you can afford designer bags that you can't and that you don't need. Don't try and buy the latest iPhone that you can't afford. If you have a phone, use the one you have. I mean, if you're loaded, why not? But the main message is that you shouldn't come here to try and be in competition with anybody. Nobody has your time. Nobody has your time in this side of the world. Things that seem very important where we come from are of no importance to most people in the Western world. Whether you have the best iPhone, you have the new one, you have the old one, nobody cares. So try and cut your coat according to your size. Don't go and buy a bigger car than you can afford. Don't go and buy a bigger bag than you can afford. Don't fill up your room or your property with material things that you don't need. You will regret it. So try to curb the fake lifestyle. If that is something you're accustomed to, just drop that habit. Leave it at home before you come. If not, you're going to spend your money, you're going to blow your money, and you're going to get into a lot of trouble very quickly. So please take note. The fakers, it's not going to work here. So please take note of that. Anyways, socials. Those of you that are social prefects before you came, try and keep it to a bare minimum. It's not everywhere they call you that you must attend. It's not every event that they're having. It's not every music show that you hear about that you must buy the ticket for. So try and cut your coat according to your size, and cut down on dinners, cut down on socials, cinema, and all those social events, social trips, so that you can try and save some money. I'm not saying that you're not going to enjoy yourself, and we're not here to try and rain on your parade. Of course, if you can afford these things, please feel free to enjoy them. But we're actually speaking to those that their parents are trying, their parents are struggling, and even people who are even struggling on their own. You mustn't experience everything. There's no rush. If you're already in the UK, there will be time for everything. So upon arrival, just try and settle down. Try and explore things that are free and cheap, but keep your social activities, especially paid ones, to a bare minimum, because it will cost you. It will cost you money in transportation. It will cost you money in even a gate fee, entry fee. It will cost you money to buy drinks. It will cost you money to contribute. It will cost you money. Social events cost money. You have to buy clothes. You have to buy shoes. You have to buy a lot of things to actually meet up with the social budget. Be careful so that you will not enter trouble. Listen. Cut down on socials. I'm talking to you. You. So So another important thing you have to take note of is your direct debits. So if you're not familiar with what that is, I don't know what the dictionary term for that is. It just means that you subscribe to a service. So an example of something you could have subscribed to, maybe something like Netflix, for example, which everybody is aware of what Netflix is. So you have a monthly subscription that comes out of your account every month, which may be, say, £10 a month or £5 a month, or I don't know, whatever Netflix charges. So you would have some students where anywhere they're announcing that there's a subscription plan for something. And because where we come from in Africa or in Nigeria, we're not used to some of these opportunities where you can pay small, they subscribe to everything. And so what you find at the end of the month, your direct debits from, it may be little money, because what happens is all this tiny money eventually accumulates to make something big. So you might be doing Netflix £10 a month, then you have other things that you actually subscribe to. Some are £2 a month, some are £5 a month, and sometimes they may not even write the proper name of the company. So at the end of the day, you don't even know what you're even paying for at the end of the month. So you need to keep analyzing your bank statement to know exactly who is collecting money from your account, either every month or quarterly or whatever, so that you keep those bills to the minimum, because those tiny bills actually accumulate to something big at the end of the month. At the end of the year, you'll find that you've lost a lot of money for something you don't even, you maybe Netflix now, maybe you don't even watch movie. You may not even have time as a student to be watching Netflix. You might be so busy with work, you might be so busy with school. So I'm not saying don't subscribe to Netflix, but this is an example of something that will come out of your account every month. That's what a direct debit is. So many times in your bank statement, you might have various debits which come out at the end of every month, or you may sometimes not only end of the month. Sometimes you may say you want to be debited, say on the 2nd of every month or 15th of every month or whatever. So you have to keep an eye on your direct debits to make sure that one, you can afford to keep paying so you don't get into financial trouble, and so that you can save some of the money, cut off any subscriptions you don't need. Some, it may be cable, it may be, there's so many things that you may get debited for. Some of them are for social, some of them may even be things that you actually consume, and then they may allow you to maybe pay small. For example, maybe you feel you wanted to buy a phone or a fridge, they may allow you credit, and then they'll be taking the money from your account at the end of every month. Try and cut down all these bills, because it will actually save you in the long run. Yeah, good. Another thing which I would like to mention is people who are responsible for people back home, or people who have to send money back home, or people who just send money back home. So to start with, in many cases as a student, you're not really going to be earning too much to start with until maybe you graduate or get a bigger, better job. And you might be saddled with the responsibility of sending money back home. What people at home fail to realize is that sometimes, even though you convert the money, say for example you're earning 10 or 11 pounds an hour, that money when converted to naira may actually seem quite big, but due to the cost of living in the UK or in the West, that money may not actually go so far. So by the time you have converted money and sent back home, you might be left with very little to actually survive on, and you may actually get yourself into debt and into trouble. So it's actually important that you keep your eye on the ball. If you actually do have to send money back home, it's important you plan and budget for that amount and send the right amount, because there's no magic. If you send more than you earn, you're going to end up in trouble. So you have to keep your eye on the ball so that you know exactly what it is you can afford to send home, and when it is that you can actually activate, when you can actually afford to start sending money home. Because some people feel that as soon as you arrive, once you have landed, you have hammered, you don't hammer, scatter. And that is not the case. There's no jobs in the airport. You're going to have to come, apply and settle down, get the job, get some savings before you actually do start sending money back home. So be mindful of that. Don't give people, a false impression that everything, your life has changed. Obviously, from the airport, you're going to see that a lot of things are very different, in terms of, being that you're in somewhere with a lot of facilities, very developed. So don't get yourself confused by the fact by merely seeing those things that you have hammered. You have not yet hammered. You have to come in, get a job, get some savings before you start sending money back home. So please be mindful of that. So another really important point I'd like to raise is that as a student, it's important that you take advantage of your status as a student. As a student, you're going to get lots of discounts. Lots of big companies are going to give you discounts. Lots of restaurants are going to give you student discounts. Lots of clothing companies are going to give you student discounts. You need to download the apps, Student Beans and Uni Days. Those are the biggest ones I remember off the top of my head, but there are loads of them. For example, Apple they always give a discount, usually in September. In 2021, the year just gone by, for each laptop you purchase, as a student, they will give you AirPods, brand new pair of AirPods, and some other accessories as well in some cases. So you'd find those kind of wonderful deals available for students. And when you go to retail shops, even some food shops, even restaurants, you would get discounts of up to 10, 15, sometimes 20% as a student, which is actually really, really good. So one way of actually saving money is to make sure that you're registered on any of the platforms where you can get student discounts. And even if you don't see a particular shop there, when you get into any shop, you can always ask if they accept your student card or your student status or whatever, and some shops will actually be happy to give you some discount for being a student. So please make sure that you look into that really seriously. Something that we'll definitely advise that you do is to make sure that you actually imbibe a saving culture. It's actually going to be very helpful if you can save, if you make enough to save, so that you can actually draw out a plan on how much you save, how much you use, how much you spend, and that will be very, very useful for you. If you can save money for a rainy day, so that in case if you lose your job, or in case if you need to actually pay up your bills or whatever, you actually have some money saved up for that purpose. So getting into that sort of habit will be very useful for you, and it's something that will never happen if you're somebody who does some of the things that I've mentioned, and know what you earn, know what you spend, and know what you can afford to save, so that you can keep some to invest somewhere, maybe invest it back home, maybe buy a car, maybe even buy a house for the future. But you actually have to get into the saving culture to be able to do that anywhere down the line. So I think those are the points I have for today. So that's the end of our video today, which I hope you found useful. Please leave us a comment if you have any questions, and if you have any topics you want us to cover, please do drop it in the comment section. As usual, please do follow us at Drum Study Abroad on Instagram and TikTok, and we would really appreciate if you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Drums Study Abroad. For today, that's it. I'm Adam Okiji, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.